Today I'm going to take you down the memory lane in this 1991 Golf GTI MK3, and I'm going to find out how a car from that era compares to today's cars where everything is electric. So let's jump in and find out how it feels. Today we're driving down the memory lane in this beautiful Golf GTI MK3 from 1991. God, so much time have passed, and I remember these vehicles being new on the road. So today I have this opportunity to access Volkswagen's heritage range, which I'm definitely going to use because I think this is a forgotten era of cars which was very fun to drive. And funnily enough, before I tell you a bit more about this car, is that this exact model of a radio was in one of my cars when I was a teenager. So that definitely brings some memories. But going back to this vehicle, it's 1991, as I mentioned, so 27 years old, and you can definitely feel it. Although this car is in pristine condition, it's the feel you get in this car. It's so old school. First of all, and most importantly, is the steering feel. Obviously hydraulically assisted, so you get all the feel from it. You feel what's happening with the front wheels, and it helps you to gauge how to drive this vehicle so well. It doesn't have skinny tires, so you can actually feel like the body of this car moves on the road and works with this soft suspension. Honestly, it's a really different experience, and if you haven't experienced old vehicles, you know, this is something quite weird to start with, but you get used to it very quickly. And to me, yeah, the suspension is extremely soft. The body roll, it's excessive, you would say, in today's language. Honestly, it rolls a lot in the corners, but it feels fun at the same time. The engine, well, it only has 150 horsepower, only. And obviously, it's not turbocharged either, so you actually need to work it. You need to be in a high rev range if you want to push this car. So if you're like at 3.5 RPMs at the moment and there is nothing, you need to be higher in the rev range to actually be able to drive this car fast. Despite soft suspension, you feel so much that it gives you that confidence in the corners. It feels funny almost, because it's not something you will ever experience in any of the new cars. There is lots of movement in the suspension, in the tires, which makes this drive really floaty, but at the same time it's fun and it's engaging, and that's what's missing in majority of the new cars. Definitely, if you try to throw this thing into a tighter corner at the higher speed than you should, the car will let you know about it, and you might have a bit of a surprise. But talking about the cabin, it feels so retro, but also so familiar, because when I was on the uni, when I was 19, my friend had a Polo from this era, so I spent a lot of time in that car, and the interior was almost identical. Very familiar manual controls, no air condition here, surprisingly electric mirrors and electric windows. And talking about the windows, look how much space it is in this cabin, and that's because it's very tall, and the visibility, it's extraordinary. Honestly, you can't get a visibility like this from any new car. The glass feels so massive, but it gives you all the visibility you want to have in a car. Honestly, everything is so slim. So the front pillars, the mid pillars, they are all very slim. So visibility in this car is exceptional. But let's focus back on the drivability of this car, because that is the main focus of this drive. So despite being quite old, the engine gets lively above 4,000 RPMs, and it becomes very playful at that point. And you need to rev it if you want to go. We're overtaking in 27-year-old car. I keep forgetting about rev matching. This car doesn't do it for you. You have to do it. It sounds great towards 6,000 RPMs, honestly. And the best thing is that it feels so much quicker than it really is. I was doing around 55, 60-ish miles a moment ago, and the car felt like it was doing 80 at least. And that is the beauty of the older cars. I'm doing 50 now, and I feel like I'm racing. And that's what older cars give you. They give you that feel, they give you that connection you're missing in so many cars these days. And the fact that you have to work it like now, 3,500 RPMs, and I have nothing when I'm going uphill. I need to go to the second. The brakes are actually pretty good. They feel like they grab perfectly fine. Obviously the suspension is soft, so it takes out the bumps pretty well. And the gearbox, despite being quite loose, I would say, and quite long to throw, it actually feels quite nice to work with. And the engine, despite being just an old 2-liter unit without any turbos, it actually sounds nice, and you feel that instant response when you accelerate, which is great, which is missing in today's cars because of the turbos. This one maybe not offering a lot of torque, but when you push it, it's so instant. Even my M2 with double the power doesn't give you response like this. The car will happily go to about 7,000 RPMs when you're getting to the red line, but that's where the happy place is for this engine. 4,000 to red line is where you can feel this engine is alive. And yes, it's not the fastest car in the world, but it doesn't have to be. It just gives you all the feel, all the drama of the driving without actually driving it very fast. And I just approached a car which looks like it's from the era where this one came out, and I'm sure I can show him who's the boss, like I would do in 1991. It feels so fun. It's difficult to really explain it. Honestly, such a joy, and it just reminds you why old cars are so good, and they leave you with such a good memories of driving, real driving experience, something you can't get in the new ones. You see, I've spent in this car now about 10 minutes, and I already managed to recalibrate my brain to actually work with the car in the same flow. I now understand how the suspension works. I now understand what it communicates to me through the steering wheel, and it's all starting to make sense, and I'm driving quicker and quicker because I've got that confidence that I know what's happening with the car. And a moment ago I was almost terrified in the first few corners because it was so floaty, and now I really understand it. It actually talks to you through all of that movement in the suspension. So, is this really the way people should move? The real drivers, the enthusiasts? I think if you're really looking for a true driving experience, you have to go back. You have to go to your youth. You have to go to the times where the cars actually were made to give you the experience. So if you ever have an opportunity to jump into an old car, do it, because it's really eye-opening if you're a car enthusiast of how real car can feel and what you can feel in it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I see you shortly in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Do widzenia.